Bayside Diner, Casey came in and saw Ashley sitting in the booth, and then she hid in her direction and went and sat with her, and Ashley saw Casey. Casey, how are you feeling? I realized the future of the person I care about is over. No, that can't be. I'm afraid it's true. My marriage is done. You mean with Matt, right? Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Manor, and it's Wilma went and got the door, and it's Sean and Mildred. Mildred, you seem surprised. We told you to come, and we did. And as Mildred and Sean came in, and as Wilma closed the door, and then she turned and faced them. So, how's things going? Going quite well. That's good, Wilma. And as Hannah and Wilma also approached where they are, and they all saw them. We heard you had some good news to tell us. Yeah, I do have something to tell you all. Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment in the hallway outside Lucy's old apartment, Matt's sitting outside by this door till Vanessa walked by and noticed what he's doing, and then she stopped and turned and faced him. You alright? And as Matt looked up and saw Vanessa there, I'm fine, considering I lost the person I care about. And as Vanessa got down to where Matt is and sat by him. What do you mean by that? Casey and I are over. What? You two are soulmates. That can't be. I'm afraid so. My marriage to Casey's done. And as Matt got back up and head back in his place, and as Vanessa also got up, and as Matt turned and saw Vanessa there, you might not come in? Meanwhile, at the Hollywood Cider Club, and as Jan came in, and as she went and head to where the bar stool is, and sat down just as the bartender came to where she is, and she saw him. What can I get you? Glass of water be fine. Come right up. And as he turned and walked away, and prepared the water, just as Jan's cell phone rings, and she got it and saw who it is and answered it. Hello? Thank goodness it's you. I need your help. What can I do? And as the bartender came back and put the glass of water next to her, how soon can you get here? I'm on my way. And as Jan hung up, second thought, never mind, excuse me. And as Jan got up and went and left the cider club. Meanwhile, at the Graham High School in the courtyard, Daniel's sitting by the pond thinking. Till Tamara and Cody came to where he is, and Daniel saw them. Dude, you okay? Yeah, you seem down. Haven't you guys noticed what's been going on lately? With the shadow killers going around sending every possible person to the shadow realm? Yeah, we're aware of that. We just don't let that deter us in any way. Meanwhile, at the Valley of the Kings, in an ancient room, Jennifer and Kristen are looking while Jan and Jacob is supervising them. What exactly are you looking for? You'll find out soon. Now come. And as they went down to another hall, and as Jan and Jacob thinking, we're getting closer. Soon, once I find the millionth spell book, all power will be mine. Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner, Casey and Ashley are talking. Yeah, Matt and I are done. You were over last time because of what Gloria did. Tell me about it. I really don't want to rehash that, by the way. This time, Matt and I end things for a reason. Which is, Taya told Matt and I some shocking news at the hospital. What kind of shocking news? Matt and I have the same exact birthmarks. I don't get that, me either. The point is, if he were to succeed in making me pregnant, our child would suffer birth defects. Seriously? Yeah, that's what she showed. Also, those birth defects could reach life-threatening, so we decided to annul our marriage in order to save our future. So that's just it? Because of some news you heard, the two of you decided to call it quits of a birthmarks? Really? Don't you think there's Matt and I didn't want to take a chance on risking an innocent life into this world? So by ending your marriage was the best solution. Matt and I want a future, but things didn't go the way we planned. That I refuse to believe. Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment, Vanessa's standing outside Lucy's old flat with Matt there. Sure, why not? And as Matt stepped aside, and as Vanessa came in, and as Matt closed the door, and as he turned and faced Vanessa, and she turned and faced him. You hungry? I came from the diner for dinner. Sure. And as she gave him 1 or 2 gold orders, and as they head to the kitchen, and put the bag on the table, and began taking the contents out. So, what brings you around? Look, I know you and I haven't crossed paths, but I hope we have a good friendship, and I have a strong feeling we will. What do you mean? You just lost a woman you truly love. That's really gotta hurt. I mean, I know it's like to lose the person you love, but I know it'll get better in time. Let's hope so. And as Vanessa thinking, plan 1 accomplished. It won't be long now. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Manor in the living room at the party, Hannah, Ryan, Wilma, Mildred, and Sean are talking. So, what are you gonna tell us? Sean and I gotta go ming about. Excuse us. And as Sean and Mildred turned and walked away and went and talked with Emily, just as Julian came to where Wilma, Ryan, and Hannah is. What's going on? I believe Wilma has something she wanna tell us. Yeah, I do. In fact, and as Wilma went and stand beside Julian, and as they faced Hannah and Ryan, Julian and I have something to tell everyone. Can I get everyone's attention? And as everyone quiet down and turned and faced Julian and Wilma, we have something to say. But first, I am so glad everyone come to this special event for my parents, who I love more than anything in this world. Now, I know our family's been through so much this year, courtesy of Frank and Mimi. We just want to say our determination is what got us through in the end. And now, Wilma and I have decided to go ahead and start a family someday, and we hope all you to be there when we get married. So, and as Karen came to where they are, and Julian and Wilma saw, the both of you engaged? Yes, we are. And as Wilma showed everyone the engagement ring, and as she leaned on Julian, and as she looked at him, Julian and I, and as she looked at the audience, can't tell how much we're looking forward to y'all being at our wedding. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Jacob's pouring himself a cup of cranberry juice, just as Justin walked in and went to where Jacob is. There you are. And as Jacob turned and saw Justin, what can I do for you? You're still trying to prove that Mary didn't try to kill Jan? That's because she didn't. I just gotta find a way to prove that Jan set the whole thing up so I can be with Mary. I think there's a way I can help you make that happen. Meanwhile, at the Grand Empire in Grace's office, Grace is looking at her project till Jan came in and went to the desk where Grace is, and she looked up and saw Jan. I got here as soon as I can. What's the emergency? I have a deal to offer. What kind of deal? Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in a bind and I need your help on our latest presentation to be approved so it can go on the market. So where is it? Right here. And as Grace got it out and laid it before Jan, what I'm looking at, you're looking at the MP3 TV portable, and you just thought of this all of a sudden? Yeah, I have. Well, I can give you a few pointers on how to profit. So actually, I just need your help on getting Ethan to prove this. Not to worry, I'll make it happen. You're in good hands with me. Meanwhile, at the Graham High School in the courtyard, Daniel, Tamara, and Cody are talking. Thank you. Look, I'm sorry I snapped earlier. It's just, I've been on edge lately. We all are, believe me. Dealing with supernatural forces that can't be explained? I wouldn't be too certain of that. What does that even mean? Thing is, I know what you're talking about, people in the shadow realm, because once upon a decade ago, I was sent there by some unknown reason, one I don't want to rehash right now. You never told me. Honestly, I didn't think it would get this bad, but here we are, with more people ending up in Shadow Realm, like Daniel said. We really need to be on edge, cause I tell you, from the experience of the Shadow Realm being there, it was so horrible, I can't explain how. It's okay, you don't have to. I just feel so damn powerless, never knowing when or where these things might strike next, which is why we need to be on guard just in case. Meanwhile, one of the shadow killers is watching them along the bushes across from them. Meanwhile, in Buffalo, New York, at the Buffalo International Hospital in Michael's room, Michael's still lying in bed physically while he's still in the shadow room with Angela by his bedside, watching her son, who's unconscious in her mind. Hang in there. You're more stronger than you give yourself credit for, so don't you dare for 1 second give up. And the Spence came in, and as he closed the door, and came to where his wife is, and she got up and saw him, and as he hugged her and held her, and as they faced Michael, Jennifer and Kristen are napping in the waiting room. By the way, how's he doing? Hasn't moved. And as they pull away and face each other, I appreciate everything Kristen and Michael did to unite us. It stopped. We're not losing our son to the Shadow Realm. How can we stop something that's so hate? It happened before, and I'm certain it'll happen again. Meanwhile, at the Valley of the Kings, as Kristen and Jennifer are walking with Yami Jacob supervising them, so Kristen discovers something in the wall, and as they approached her, oh my god, and as Kristen noticed a strange symbol. Wait a second, I've seen this symbol back home at the museum by USC, so have I. What does it mean? Why, it's the Shadow Killer's presence, of course. So more people's lives are in danger because of this Shadow Realm you speak of. I cannot believe how twisted you are. My husband's suffering in the Shadow Realm. When you put him there, it's just so you can gain power. Yes, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Which is why the two of you gonna help me get me everything I want. You are never gonna win this in the end. Really? Then we shall see about that now, won't we? Yes, we will. There it is. And as the Mammalian spellbook glowed from the other room. How you know? It's just a hunch. But then again, I could be wrong. Let's just go. And as Kristen and Jennifer with Yami Jacob head to the other room, and they all saw the Mammalian spellbook that's open on the table in the center of the room. And it's glowing. And it's Yami Jacob thinking, finally, the time has come to claim the power I so deserve and wiping out the competition. I'm only moments away from getting everything I desire, and I'll be damned to let anything or anyone stand in my way. And as Yami Jacob began heading to where the book is, but before he got there, the bright glow knocked him out towards the ground, and he vanished. And Jennifer and Kristen came to where Yami Jacob was. What's going on? And as they look at the Mammalian book, and its glow starts to become more stronger. And as Kristen look at Jennifer, this can't be good. What do you mean by that? I'm afraid we have awakened something more dangerous than we both can handle. And as the forces of the glow from the Mammalian book begins to become more stronger, which frightens both Jennifer and Kristen. Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner, Casey and Ashley are talking. Look, I appreciate encouragement, Grandma, but overall, Matt and I just realized we deserve to be other people. Seriously, Casey, you shouldn't give up on your marriage just because you're too afraid your future child might have birth defects. There are other methods such as, well, haven't you and Matt considered vitro? We can't risk that. You're not even gonna consider adoption. Look, Matt and I love each other so much that we're willing to give up our marriage. It really breaks my heart to see you guys decide on this, but overall, in the end, it is your choice, and I'm gonna have to respect that. Thank you. Look, all I ever want is for my granddaughter to be happy, and I am. Because in the end, we know it was best for our future, and maybe one day, I'll find that right person for me. Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment in Lucy's old apartment in the living room, Vanessa and Matt are talking. There's something you should know, and that would be, I just want to say, I'm here whenever you want someone to talk. Thanks. I just might take you up on that. Okay. You know, for some odd reason, even though what your sister Gloria put me through earlier this year, I feel like I can totally trust you. I'm just glad to help, and you did. Anyways, I'm gonna go grab a shower. And as Matt turned and headed to the back, but stopped and turned and came back to where she is. Hey, if you don't have any plans, I'd like to take you somewhere else. Actually, I have no plans at all. Okay, excuse me. And as Matt turned and headed back to the back, while Vanessa headed to the kitchen area. And as she began thinking, I'm starting to gain Matt's trust. And unlike my sister Gloria and what she did, I will get what I want. Soon, all my dreams will come to pass. Meanwhile, at the Good Charm Manor in the living room at the party, Karen, Hannah, Ryan, Wilma, Mildred, and Sean are talking, just as Bradley came to where they are. Did I hear right? And they all saw him. My son's getting married? Yeah, I am. Congratulations, both of you. You mean that? Of course we do. Look, sorry we had to do all that drama scene. It builds up suspense. I say you had us worried. I don't think you should. I'm glad we have the support. Of course, as long as you're not marrying a Colin, we're all for it. We never will, because there's no way I'm leaving. I'm here to stay for the long run. Glad to hear it. In fact, you might not borrow my future daughter-in-law? Sure. And as Karen Mildred went upstairs, while Hannah and Ryan went and talked with the other people, and as Julian turned and faced his father. Come on, Dad. Seriously. I know you and Mom don't want us to get married. You're right. And I'm gonna make certain it doesn't happen. Meanwhile, Mildred, Emily, and Sean are talking. I am so glad seeing my sister happily engaged. Wilma deserves Julian, because I think he's a good person. They have a long road ahead, which I'm sure they enjoy in the end, and they will. I am so glad our family's finally getting the happiness. Ah! And as Emily felt a sharp pain, and as the crowd got her to where Emily is, and as she got down to the floor, just as Sean got down and got a hold of her, and Mildred also got down, and Hannah saw amongst the crowd and noticed what's going on. Oh my God, Emily! And as she hurried to where they are, and they all saw Hannah. Meanwhile, one of the Egyptian shadow killers is watching them from outside the window. Meanwhile, let's get back inside the kitchen where Justin and Jacob are talking. You really think you can prove Jan, for one, is really good at manipulating people's lives, which gives me an idea. Such as, the other day, I managed to get some true serum from Gwen. And what do you plan to do with it? You'll see. All you need to know is, once I have Jan confess to what she did, it won't be long till Mary be free. I don't know what you're scheming, but I hope it works, trust me. Jan has no idea what's coming for her. Meanwhile, at the Grand Empire in Grace's office, Jan and Grace are talking. Good. I knew I can count on you, and you always will. So, what are you gonna be doing while I sell? Well, I have a major project in China that is due tomorrow via online conference, and I barely had time to start. Not to worry. You got a lot on your plate. Yeah, you can say that. I mean, who knew being the president of Grand Fashion could be such a challenge? You'll do great. I know I will. And this woman came in, and Jan and Grace saw her. Ethan's ready for you, Grace. Thanks, Maya. And as Maya turned and walked away, and as Grace turned and faced Jan. Well, this is it. I know you make me proud. And as Jan took the item and went and left for office. And as Grace thinking, I'm counting on you, Jan. Meanwhile, at the Graham High School in the courtyard, Tamara, Daniel, and Cody are talking. You know, with half the people in the school already missing, Pops, that explains to why the school's almost empty. There's hardly anyone here. What puzzles me is why these things are putting these people in the shuttle room. I wish I knew. You know what? It's bad enough that I was kidnapped earlier this year and used collateral damage. Well, despite what's been happening, Marie and Nate's trial's coming up in a few days. Good. It's about time they paid for what they did to me, my uncle, and his wife, putting me through so much. Well, one thing's for certain. Justice will be served, and suddenly Cody collapsed to the ground. And Daniel and Tamara saw him. Oh my god. Cody! And as Tamara and Daniel stand up, and as they look around and turn and face each other, that thing must have found us. And as the Egyptian shadow killer slowly approached to where Tamara and Daniel is. Meanwhile, in Buffalo, New York, at the Buffalo International Hospital in Michael's room, Michael's still lying in bed, physically in a coma, while he's still in the shuttle room, with Angela and Vince talking to each other. How did you manage, by the way, earlier when you went to Egypt? That's a really long story. You don't have to tell me, but I am. I was tranced to heading back there. Look, I know it seems just wrong. Far from what I've seen, anything's possible. Eventually I got set free for the matter. Then Gwen and I started seeing each other, and then we got close. I get it. These supernatural forces gotta be happening for a reason. I mean, why else would the shadow killers going around sending people to the shadow realm? Boy, I wish I knew. Meanwhile, at the Valley of the Kings, Jennifer and Kristen are now facing the Mammalian Spellbook, which has a stronger glow. Did you see that? Yeah, it's if that book has a mind of its own, I'll say. And as Jennifer began to head toward, wait! And then Jennifer stopped and turned and faced Kristen. What is it? I don't think we should go anywhere near that book. Why? Just because some damn glow? It's the glow that really burns me to death. You know what? Why is it glowing in the first place? Something tells me our friend knew the reason to why it's glowing, and that's why it did what it did, to protect its secrets. And as Jennifer came back to where Kristen is, you think we just not only did our friend disturb its ancient secrets, but I'm afraid it's ready to strike all those that were involved. Oh my god. That means we are in grave danger. And as Jennifer turned and faced the book along Kristen, and the glow is severely strong. Soon, it knocked both Kristen and Jennifer unconscious with its bright, strong glow.